Hello, you little powerhouse, you. Welcome to the Subconscious Expert podcast, and welcome to our second little July challenge. Hell yes. Can you believe we're already in week 2 of July? I hope that you are well and truly in the challenge. You have looked at last week's challenge lowdown of what you're doing and you started putting these things into place. Again, like I said, throughout the whole of July, you have the opportunity to pop yourself into the winnings of a 45-minute subconscious one-to-one with me, or a day VIP in Voxer with me. So all you need to do, head to the show notes, all of the things are in there of what to do, but give the podcast a review, screenshot it, send it to my DMs on Instagram, and you go into the chance of winning a 45-minute subconscious one-to-one, or share an episode to your Instagram and tag me, and you go into the little wheel of winners for a VIP Voxer day with me, and this is going to go up to July 31st of 2024. So it is a July challenge. You can obviously do the subconscious challenges that are in the podcast, but if you want to take part in winning either the 45-minute one-to-one with me from a subconscious programming point of view, or the day in Voxer, VIP day with me in Voxer, go and give that a share, a rate, and a review. But again, like I said, all of the breakdowns is in the show notes, so head to there. So today, in the subconscious July challenge, which we are subconsciously moving you to your next level, we are subconsciously changing your business for the better, we are having a look at how subconscious programming can increase your sales, which is usually what everyone wants. It's usually what everyone wants. You want more incredible aligned clients in your business. You want more people coming in, holding more capacity, launching more things if that's what that means to you. And obviously, with all that in tow, creating and increasing your sales, creating and increasing the wealth that you have in the business. Now, I wanted to start with some of the blockers, because you know me, first step to change is awareness. So let's have a look at the awareness around the deep-rooted self-belief, like the deep-seated beliefs that I see that kind of hinder entrepreneurs' ability to sell, basically. And I think sometimes identifying these blockers and addressing these blockers, these subconscious limiting beliefs and stories that come up, is really going to help you improve both your sales and how you sell. So there's a couple of things that I see happening, which you might resonate with one, you might resonate with all. And basically the challenge for today, again, is in the show notes, and there is a whole scope of you working through these. So the first thing I see from like a deep-seated belief, limiting belief with this, is the fear of rejection. If someone says no, then that means I'm not good enough, so therefore I won't sell, or I will avoid following up, or I won't handle objections. And the fear of rejection kind of stops you from completely selling in the first place. I see that very often. The second one is imposter syndrome. So I'm not as competent as I'm selling myself to be, and I'll be found out. Can I really get this results for my ideal clients? Can I really help them? Like, will they see the success? There's a lot of questioning behind your own knowledge, your own ability, your own talents that stop you from selling, because if I ain't selling, then I don't have to be an imposter. And this is a big one that I see a lot. And if you're not selling currently, if you're not consistently selling in your business right now, or you are selling and then you're not following up, following through, objectifying, or doing anything to like get the clients into your business, it probably is one of these things. So just keep a listen. The next thing I see is money mindset. money is the root of all evil, rich people are greedy, if I make that amount of money, people are going to take from me, I'm going to have to give more. Who am I to take this money from my clients? Like, all of these beliefs are stopping you from selling, because selling equals an exchange of money for your energy, right? And actually what I see is the difficulty in asking for the sale, or you kind of say the amount of money and you're like, it's a, like, you don't actually say the price with confidence, often discounting, you know, let's make it feel like it's the amount that I think that they should think it is, and just not discussing, like not feeling comfortable discussing the price with the client. So you may be having clarity calls or discovery calls or DM conversations where you kind of breeze over it or try not to get to that part of the conversation or forget to reply. A lot of these behaviors that are coming up. The next one I see is the fear of success. This one's a big one, and I've spoke about it a lot on the podcast, but if I sell too much, if people say yes, I will become too successful, I will lose my work-life balance, or it will bring me unwanted attention, or people will need more from me, or I will have to over-deliver, or I will have to people please more. There's a lot of like that fear of success, which is like the self-sabotage. You set low goals, you avoid opportunities which could lead you to places, you don't reply. A lot of it does come to the fear of success with my clients because they're such high achievers. Like, failure is not an option for them. I think sometimes we do have the fear of failure, but you wouldn't let yourself fail, so it has to be the fear of success. So that's one that I see. Another one that I see is perfectionism. And this is kind of like, if it's not perfect, if I'm not delivering it perfect, if I'm not selling it perfect, if this launch doesn't go perfect, it's not worth doing. Procrastination, over preparing, never really feeling ready, missing the opportunities due to the fear of imperfection. And that perfectionism keeps you stuck in the kind of creativity and the doing. So it means that you never really launch, which means you never really sell. And it's this like perpetuating cycle that kind of goes round. Next one, comfort zone mentality, sweatpants season is what we've claimed it now, which is like, I stick to what I know, I ain't taking any risks, I'm not trying any new sales strategies, I'm not gonna, change any marketing efforts, I'm just gonna stay stagnant because that's what feels safe. Now, logically, you're not saying that, but subconsciously you are. Next one is the fear of being pushy or aggressive, which I think comes with this like bro marketing, sleazy car salesman, we hear it a lot. It kind of comes with the narrative that we learnt around that, probably prior to the industry, but I have had some clients who have worked with coaches or business coaches that have like really pushed them into the bro marketing that doesn't really suit them. Lots of DM messages, it takes a lot of energy, etc. And it's almost like, I don't want to be annoying, I don't want to be intrusive, I don't want to bother people. And there is a way to selling, and I think there's definitely a way of like breaking through that belief. And it's not a way that you need to sell. I definitely don't sell like that, but a lot of the time I see people stuck in that the fact like it's like, well, it's either this way or no other way, and I don't know how to do it any other way, that stops them from selling, which kind of goes into the next one, which is kind of like negative past experiences. And I think when you're growing your business, when you're in the growth of your business, you are receiving maybe quite a few no's. And it comes back to this business resilience where, every time I've had a client where the client's like, oh, that client said no, that ideal client said no, I'm like, great, that brings us a new opportunity to bring in someone more aligned. And it's how you look at that. But if you're putting this story on like, I failed last time, so I'm going to fail again, I can't deal with another no. Best thing I learned about the entrepreneur space, the best thing I learned about the performing arts space was the ability to have people say no to me all the time and keep going. Because I literally used to go to 5 or 6 auditions a week And I would be in the room for like a minute. What can you show in a minute? And it would be a no, and I'd have to be okay with that. And I think like that really taught me to be very resilient in business, because the no's, it always brings something else. Like it's the path that we need to take, and that's okay. But almost sometimes I see entrepreneurs who have received no's, or maybe a couple of no's, they start to make it mean something about them, which then again stops them from selling. And then the last one is real lack of self-worth, which kind of for me is like hits me the hardest, because you are worthy, you're worthy of everything that you want, but actually playing into the belief of I don't deserve to be successful, I'm not worth the price I'm asking for, who am I to do this, who am I to sell this? It really looks that you have this difficulty in valuing yourself, in valuing your products, in valuing your services, and again leads to this like discounted prices, underpricing, undervaluing yourself, and not standing in the power that you have, being who you are and offering what you have, because you wouldn't be doing it if you didn't have a morsel of belief in yourself, because you do. You just allow these beliefs to come up. So those are a couple of things that I see happen to stop you from selling subconsciously. So a lot of the time it's not because you don't know the content structure, or you don't know how to actually sell, or like, yes, there might be some refinement in your messaging and positioning, which is what I look at with clients, but a lot of the time when it comes to selling, it is the subconscious beliefs that are behind it. It is what's going on from a programming perspective of your subconscious, of what you think about money or yourself or what you're offering, that stops it for you. So how can we move through this? Obviously, a big part of this is the challenge that I have set you for the second week of July, which is in the show notes. But the first thing and place that you really need to start is that confident in self. And I know confidence is such a fucking macro thing and it looks so different to everyone, but that deep rooted self-belief, like really getting yourself to that place where you're like, of course people are going to buy from me, because what I'm offering is incredible or life-changing, or going to help them in some way. And if you didn't believe that, like I said, if you didn't even believe that 1%, you wouldn't be here with your business anyway. And one of my clients, I actually got a testimonial through from her the other day, and I think this really helped her really stand in this confidence in self. And a lot of the time, it's not the selling itself. Like, again, like I said, like I do go into the strategy and story strategies and podcast selling strategy. Like, it's a lot of strategies that we can put in place. But actually, it's the confidence that they have, that my clients then have within themselves to sell. She said, Beck encouraged me to become the most confident, elaborate and expansive version of myself through both mindset and strategic work. I've gone from reactive, anxious and overwhelmed in information overload, which I know a lot of you are in, to calm, proactive and confident. My relationships, business, and more than anything, my confidence has improved drastically as a result. And I think it is this confidence piece that allows the resilience. It allows you to show up. It allows you to sell. It allows you to play bigger. It allows you to launch more. It allows you to, put things out. And it does come down to the confidence of yourself. So that's where we're going to start with today's challenge. And then the second thing, from like more of a, I suppose it is strategic, but more from like a habitual, is having selling become second nature to you. Like, there's no stories attached to selling. You're not making selling mean anything. You're not making the people receiving the selling mean anything. You're not making stories about how your clients invest, yada, yada. There's so much that I see going on. When you make selling become second nature, the way that, me showing up on stories and selling, me recording the podcast, it's all very second nature to me. It also kind of eliminates the bullshit that you put around it, because it's just habitual. And that's where I want you to get with selling, is that habitual behavior of selling, because you train your audience that you sell, rather than training your audience that you just give them free value and then sell every now and again. And then they're like, wait, she hasn't sold for ages. Does she sell? Can't remember the last time she sold. Like, psychologically, from an ideal client point of view, you not selling every day teaches them that you don't sell every day, basically. And that's kind of more the neuroscience of content, etc., which there is many a podcast on that, which I'll tag in the show notes. So yes, we are having a look at the subconscious. Does subconscious reprogramming increase my sales? I can hand on my heart say 100% yes, it does. I have so many experiences, both for myself and for my clients, that it has. So your next challenge is in the show notes. I hope this has opened your eyes to maybe a couple of beliefs that are holding you back around selling right now, so you can move forward with this. And yeah, the challenge for this week is super juicy, so I can't wait for you to get into it and start taking some tangible actions moving forwards as well, because like I always say, like, we do the subconscious work and we have to put the tangible intentional actions behind it for you to move forwards. So yes, I will see you on the next podcast episode. I love you lots. Mwah.